What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Kamario Palmer, INC, and I'm back to help you break down your case. And I'm talking all the way down to the bone gristle. Now, this video right here might piss some of us old schoolers off because a lot of us had our criminal record destroyed by the man because we was out there doing shit we weren't supposed to and we didn't know the rules. Well, today I have a quick video that's gonna bring some things to the light that you can teach your kids and your teenagers when they out there in the field. And something I wanna let y'all know is that this is how I changed my life from doing dumb shit to doing some shit, you feel me? So look, what we're gonna talk about today is one of the most common ways a black person ends up downtown in the jailhouse, you hear me? And that's called the Terry stop. And for those of you that don't know what the Terry stop is when the police get behind you, cut their lights on, and pull you over in whatever vehicle you riding in. Back in my day, we had so many police officers out there pulling us over and taking us downtown for all types of things. And a lot of the times, we didn't even know the rules. The only ones I felt like knew the rules back then was the ones that done been to jail a couple of times. And even some of them didn't really know all the rules. They knew myths and folklore. So KP about to put you on something that you need to know. Even though Terry stop has been established fully now, it's still a problem. So I typed up some notes for you, baby, real quick. All right, y'all, just so you'll know what I'm talking about, let's start from the top. A Terry stop. A Terry stop pretty much comes from this case law called Terry versus Ohio. I told you, in order for me to feel like I'm top tier, I have to come just as strong or stronger than the top tier defenders and lawyers and attorneys or whatever you want to call them in the world. And so I'm coming with case law too because I'm not even a lawyer. So here we go. Terry stop is known as the stop and frisk, y'all. It's a brief on-the-spot detention by law enforcement based on reasonable suspicion and put very big emphasis on reasonable suspicion. Suspicion, y'all. I'm country a little bit, so excuse me. That a person may be involved in a criminal activity. It stems from a U.S. Supreme Court case, Terry versus Ohio, 392 U.S. 1, and it was established in 1968. Now, when I was going into my troubles as a youngster and a teenager and even into my adulthood, I didn't know the rule. I didn't know the case law Terry versus Ohio. Let's dig deeper so that our kids and our teenagers know. And they can learn from us and not even go through all this, go down on routes that we went down to get paid. But anyway, just in case they do, y'all, the legal definition, Terry stop allows police officer to, 1, temporarily detain y'all, meaning that it's temporary, y'all, not all day. In fact, here's a secret gem from Kamario Palmer. I went and dug even deeper than I can give y'all on these quick videos, but it's 13 minutes. They got 13 minutes to find something in your car or find something wrong to hold you. Any more than that, they have to let you go. You're being unlawfully detained for real. But anyway, temporarily detain someone based on reasonable, articulable suspicion that the person is involved in a crime. Articulable. Coming from that word articulate. Articulate. Meaning that you need to be specific about why you pulling me over, sir. 2, this is another reason why the police will pull you. Conduct a limited frisk. a pat down, right? The pat down of a person out of clothing if the officer reasonably believes the person may be armed and dangerous. Boy, how many times you done been patted down so good? See, back in the old days when you used to get beat up, roughed up, and you complain about it, didn't nobody care. You feel me? They used to pat us from head to toe all the way into the rooter to the tutor, you hear me? I'm talking about niggas putting on gloves, you feel me? How about they were in violation, y'all? Here you go. Reasonable suspicion, real quick. More than a hunch, less than probable cause, must be based on specific and articulable facts. You hear that? That's a reasonable suspicion. Limited duration. It's supposed to be 13 minutes, y'all. A stop must be temporary and last only as long as necessary to confirm or dispel the suspicion. So that's where they get us past 13 minutes because they trying to dispel suspicion. And when we just, hold them up with our little attitudes because we don't know the rules and don't know what's going on, or we don't want to deal with it, it causes us to be on the side of the road longer. Less intrusive means, did y'all hear that? Less intrusive means officers must use less intrusive methods necessary to achieve the purpose of the stop. Okay. It's certain things that they supposed to look at. It's called plain view. If they feel like they nervous around your car, they supposed to unnervous themselves reasonably though, and least intrusively, right? So let's say you got tinted windows, they dark as hell. Roll your windows down, bruh. Roll your window down, sis. Your shit dark as hell. That would scare me too. All right? If they feel like your car got drugs or guns in them, show them in plain view, and you don't got to get out your car. Come to find out, you turn on your interior lights and you show them the inside of your car and show them that it's not no weed laying out. Show them it ain't no guns laying out. Show them that you ain't holding on, you ain't clutching. But see, I know that some of us, when we out there in traffic and we getting pulled over, we can't do that because we actually are guilty at the time. But I'm talking about the people that are not guilty, the people that's not fooling around, or the people that's barely guilty. What I mean by that is you're not guilty at all. You just you know what I mean? And you're not really doing nothing, but you get stopped and you get jammed up, right? So you got frisk justification. A frisk pat down for weapons is not automatic, y'all. Boy, when I was growing up in Fayetteville, when I was growing up in Greensboro, when I was growing up everywhere around here in North Carolina, I thought it was damn near automatic the way they was tell frisking I had. Officers must have reasonable belief that the suspect is armed and dangerous. Now, some of us is armed and dangerous. Some of us is hustling. Some of us is doing shit. So don't be surprised if your ass get frisked. But just know it's a limited frisk. Know your rights. Know the rules. Matter of fact, don't even do it. You know what I'm saying? Find you a job. Find you some education. Find you a hustle. Find you a business. And don't even get into this stuff. It's not worth it. Let me give you I'm going to give you 4 case law that'll help beat a case down that has went beyond the scope of search and frisk reasonably and limitedly in limited duration, right? So you got Terry versus Ohio. I told you that off the rip. Then you got Illinois versus Woodrow. Then you got Florida versus JL. Then you got Hebel versus 6th Judicial District Court of 2004. Illinois of Woodrow is for unprovoked flight in high crime area can justify reasonable suspicion. That's one y'all need to know. So that means if you see the police and you just dip and you stay in the trap, meaning that you stay on the murk or you stay within the murk. Like what I mean by is you stay in the murk where they selling and trapping at and your ass just take off. That's a reasonable suspicion to search your ass. You just Thank you. You just drew the heat to y'all, you and your homies. Thanks for just taking off like that, bruh. All right? If you on Old Wilmington Road and you just dip off when you see the police, yes, they can chase your ass and search your ass, but they have to be a reasonable search. So you know that shit. Okay, Florida versus JL. Man, y'all need to know this. Just because of old lady, just because of snitch, just because of anonymous tip alone isn't enough to get your ass frisk, y'all. Did you know that? Did you know just because somebody snitching on your ass, a unanimous tip, don't automatically get you frisk? Yeah, it has to be more than that. Yeah. So, in some states, a person may be required to identify themselves during a Terry stop. Okay. Hobel versus 6th Judicial District Court does say that you have to identify yourself. But I always say this. When you pull out your driver's license, when you pull out your identification, and when you tell them your name, tell them that you are doing it out of duress because y'all got guns. That's the only reason why I'm pulling out this driver's license. I don't even hardly use this thing. I'm not even operating it like that. You feel me? Just tell them you operating in a regular man's capacity, right? What I mean by a regular man's capacity. What you are not operating commercially. Commercially means that you are operating to make business sales at the time. So unless you are an Uber driver or a DoorDash driver or a goddamn independent contractor or 1099 delivery driver, you are not operating in your driver's license capacity, really. And the Moors be trying to tell y'all that all the time. But actually what it is you can give them your ID without relinquishing all your rights by just telling them you're under duress. And that's the only reason why you're giving it to them, because if I didn't have this driver's license, I'd be harassed and you will pull out guns on me and ruin my day. That's the only reason why I'm giving you my driver's license, sir. And to validate that I'm who I say I am. So I don't have any warrants. So yeah, we can wrap this Terry stop up within 30 minutes, y'all. And I'm sorry that it took me about 13 minutes to do this video, but this is useful information that you need from a person that has used this stuff. This ain't a guy that just read the book, watched YouTube University, took notes, and then decided to come and tell you all this stuff. This is a guy that actually had to use this shit. This is coming from a guy that ass was actually on the Lizine and did not fold, by the way, on my homies. This is coming from a motherfucker that didn't snitch on his homies. This is coming from a motherfucker that didn't fold, you know. I didn't have to go to trial. I went through different scenarios with the state and the feds. You know what I mean? Like, I did plead not guilty and lost. I did take pleas before, and now I know what to do and go back and get it off my record, or know how to, you know what I'm saying, overturn it, or, you know what I'm saying. I have made mistakes in the game, and I had to live up to them, take them on the chin, you know, and then I learned from them mistakes, and I bumped my head, and I had to learn how to apply ice and heat. I had to learn how to talk the talk and walk the walk in the courtroom in front of all these white folks that's trying to hang my black ass for what I done did. Know that I learned my lesson. Know that I wouldn't try that again. Know that I'm trying to change my life and better myself every day and work on myself. Know that I'm not perfect. Know that I'm not an angel, but know that I have the information deep down inside me. All right, y'all. Peace.